ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ।
Dear friends, welcome back to the study of the Mundaka Upanishad. And during the last two sessions, we have tried to explain to you one of the most intricate and subtle sections of the teachings of this very Upanishad. That was the beginning of this khanda, this chapter, where Maharishi Angirasha is teaching us the art of meditation, which is a cause to emancipation or freedom from bondage. And that procedure has been elaborated in a language and with such examples which were very common at that time of the Upanishad when it was recited or when it was taught by Maharishi Angirasha to his disciples. 5,000 or 6,000 years ago, it is but natural it will appear to be a bit obsolete and therefore difficult, and we feel we can't connect ourselves with these ideas. So we said that we would try to create a platform based on our present-day understanding, and that platform will be the take-off point of the art of meditation as mentioned by Maharishi Angirasha. We have done our very best during the last two sessions. Just to keep a link with it, let me quickly browse through and go into the study of the 6th Shloka, which is again another methodology by means of which you can concentrate on the symbol Omkara, Om, as has been described in the previous shlokas. So before I go into that, we know that he has given us an example of a bow with a very taut and a tight bowstring, an arrow, and a target. That is what he has mentioned by one example. What is the bow? The bow is Upanishadam Mahastram. Let me translate it as it is to be found in the text. Upanishadsu bhavam Upanishadam. What does it mean? The idea that generates from the Upanishad, that idea is the dhanu. Upanishadsu bhavam Upanishadam dhanu. What is Upanishadsu bhavam? What does this Upanishad Shabdarashi, the whole gamut of words which has been arranged in a particular manner, which helps you to get the meaning of the words. As you know, there is the concept known as Sphotabad. Sphota means to explode. to manifest, to open up, to burst open. Mildly, an explosion. A word is used. A conventional sound is a word. And I say water. I've created a sound by my vocal cord and my intelligence and all that I have. I've said a word, uttered a sound, water. It is conventionally known to all of you. And that sound through the airwaves reaches your ears, vibrates your eardrum, generates a sensation for the audio nerves. The nerves get sensitized by this vibration. The nervous system is so equipped, carries that sensation to that part of the brain which is equipped to transform that nervous sensation, exploding into another type of energy known as idea or thought. All this process goes through. We are used to it. We don't have time to analyze. We are so much at home with it that we don't pay any attention as to why and how. But the immediate reaction is, all of you nod your head and say, I understand. I understand. What do you understand? Swami, you are speaking about an element of nature known as water. I know. It is a fluid. It's a tasteless, shapeless, odorless, so and so, liquid. I used a conventional sound, and you, through that whole procedure, you know what Swamiji is saying. Swamiji is saying water, and I know what he means. This is a special characteristic of that organ known as hearing organ. Now, when we say Brahman, when we say Atman, I'm using a word, and the word conventionally is known to you, and I say Atman. And it goes through that whole rigmarole, the whole process, and you say, I understand what you are saying. You are talking about my inner self, my spirit, my Atman, whom I know, whom I experience as I am. A sound has a capacity to convey to you an idea. And meditation means you latch yourself onto that idea. You hold on to that idea in such a manner that your total energy is saturated with that idea. Your energy doesn't go to the right, doesn't go to the left, up or bottom. It is pinpointed, concentrated. Om. Omkara Dhvani, that 3 alphabets, and the resonance of a bell. These 4 encompasses the whole universe. The gross is Akara, the subtle is Ukara, the causal is Makara, and beyond that the immutable is the resonance of a bell. Om. And he says, That is your original nature. So what is the example? The wisdom of the Upanishad, ideas emanating from the Upanishadic word, is to be compared with the bow with its bowstring. Complete. What is an arrow? Yourself is the arrow. Who is that self? That self which is desirous of knowing itself. I would like to know who am I, what am I. That is the arrow. If the arrow is blunt, is not sharpened, not polished, not honed, it will not enter into the object. It will hit it, and by rebound it will fall back. Therefore, that arrow has to be sharpened, honed, and polished by upasa nishitam, by your continuing prayerful attitude. What is that prayerfulness? I will concentrate on this idea. I am that which is symbolized by the word Om. Sach Chit Ananda Sarup Atma. That is what I am. Upasa Nishitam. I have sharpened, I have polished, I have honed. That means I have collected all my energy in myself. And ayamya tadbhavagatena chetasha. That is what the Upanishad says. What does it mean? You pull the bowstring as much as you can. This left hand is totally erect. You hold the bow. And you hold the bowstring with the end of the arrow and pull it as much as you can, making sure the bowstring is touching the hind part of the arrow. And with your full strength of concentration, you let it go. Where does the arrow go? It reaches the target which you have concentrated upon. And if you, without any confusion, do so, the arrow will penetrate its object and will lose its identity into that object. This aspirant soul, the Jivatma, will be able to merge its identity with its true original nature, the Paramatma, and Sharavat Tanmayo Bhavet. Apramattena Vedabhyam. You have to put your heart and soul into it without any confusion, without any hesitation, without any let, without any hindrance, in totality. And what will happen? The arrow will penetrate the target and lose its identity in that target. This Jivatma penetrates the Paramatma and loses its identity, just like the bulk of the river water parameter merges into the ocean and it is irretrievably lost and mixed up with the ocean. It has become one with the ocean. That will what happened to you. The Jivatma merges with the Paramatma. This has been very elaborately described with a platform that we modern people do understand. Now let us move on to the next Shloka number. We have studied Shloka 5 also, where the main criteria of the fifth Shloka is Anya Bacha Vimunchata. Don't divert your attention till you reach your goal. Anya Bacha Vimunchata Athaesha Amritasya Setu. This is the bridge from this mortal life into a life of immortality, being one with the Absolute. Anya Vacha Vimunchata here means, why don't you, as I have explained to you in the last talk, and I am really very happy, comfortable to remember that the talks are available to you if you at hindsight want to revise. So that is an advantage of this modern technology. Otherwise it would have been lost. The sounds would have been lost in air. Whereas now you have a recorded talk where you will see Anya Bacha Vimunchata has a wonderful, wide aspect of understanding. What is that? Let me quickly repeat it for you. Now, we say, I belong to this world and I interact with this world. What are the principal concepts of interaction? The principal concept of interaction is, I have a name, you know me by my name. You know me by my shape and size, my form and my appearance. You know the qualities that I have, and you know the utilitarian value that I have in this world. Identically, I know you as such. We live in this world on these four concepts: name, form, qualities, utilitarian value. And this is based on the concept of separateness. Now he says in the fifth shloka, look, develop this fifth concept. What is that? The divine is everywhere. There is not a speck of space, not an iota of time where the divine is not. Either I am aware of the divine as I am aware I am. Amness is satya, awareness is chetana. Sat Chit Ananda Swarup. They are constantly coming in my mind. I am aware the world is. I am aware the world is because I am aware I am. I am, the world is. If that is so, why I do not educate myself to be aware of the presence of the divine every moment of my life? I don't need to throw away neti. I don't need to throw away name, form, nama, rupa, guna, artha, kriya, karita. Let them remain in the domain of Maya. But beyond Maya, that eternal existence, satta and chetana, presence and awareness, they are eternally present everywhere. Today I see you, name, form, qualities, utilitarian value. Let me now educate. I also think he who is in me, he who is everywhere, he is there. He who is in me, he is everywhere. I add a fifth dimension. And what is that fifth dimension? It is unifying. It cuts at the root of separateness. I am now focusing my attitude not on nama, not on rupa, not on guna, not on artha kriya karita. They are there. But my main attention is he who is in me, he who is everywhere, he is there. And I am interacting with him. Anya bacha vimunchata. Don't allow any other disturbing thought in your mind. Brittaya ekatanata. That is what Maharishi Patanjali says in Yoga Sutra. Brittaya ekatanata. Brittaya is plural. Britti, brittaya. What does it mean? Manovritti. Modulation of my mind. There, of all the four, I pay my attention to the awareness of the presence of the divine as paramount, most important. The rest are secondary. I am interacting with the divine all the time. Don't deviate from that. Why? Brittaya ekatanata. That same britti follows momentary one after the other. And what is happening? It is filling up your pot of heart right from the bottom. And it is filled to the brim. It is in a convex. It is swollen up. You have divinized yourself by thinking of the divine all the time. Anya bacha vimunchata. For heaven's sake, get rid of any other non-divine attitude. Now, in the modern language, according to Patanjali, what is meditation? You hold your mind as because you are used to name and form in the form of your Ishtadeva. Anchor it with repetition of the mantra and it explodes into it. He is in me, I am in him. This vritti continues. And Hari Maharaj, Swami Trigunananda ji, used to say a wonderful word. You go to an office for your work and you find there's a billboard, no admission without permission. You are an educated person, you don't go there. Put a billboard up here on your forehead. What? No admission without my permission. No idea will invade my brains without my permission. The only idea that I allow to percolate through is he is in me, I am in him, and I live in this world in him, with him, by his grace, by his blessings, to serve him. Nothing but him in me. If that is so, no, that attitude is a bridge from mortality to immortality. Atha esha amritasya setu. That is, for all determination, is a bridge from this world to that world. And where is that world? Not up in the skies. It is here in me. It is here everywhere. I am building a bridge to cross the river of birth and death, and I merge with the Absolute. We have studied this the 5th Shloka of the 2nd chapter, of the 2nd Mundaka. Now let us move to the other. As I told you, there are 12 shlokas in this chapter. All those 12 shlokas, of which we have covered 5, they are nothing else but various approaches to the central theme, how to manifest the potential divinity already in me. How to manifest that. And a very elementary example. Here is a circle. A circle has 3 components. The center of a circle, radius of a circle, and a circumference defined by the radius and the center. And that circumference can be divided into 360 equal parts. And if you draw a perpendicular from that point, you will reach the center. You can't go elsewhere, you will reach. That is, there are 360 radii, 1 per each degree, to reach the center. That is, no 2 radii are the same. They generate from different part of the circumference. But they start from the circumference at various 360 points, but all of them meet at the center of the circle. There's a fact we know very well. He takes advantage of that knowledge. The 6th shloka teaches you another methodology by means of which you can constantly concentrate on that sound, the symbolic sound Omkara. Hold your mind onto that sound. The sound will explode into an idea. Latch yourself to that idea. Hold on to it. Don't let it go. Don't allow any other thought to invade. Anya bacha bimunchata. Get rid of that totally. This is a sure bridge to go across the life of mortality to immortal life. He now comes to another example. Let me read it for you, and it will be now very simple because we have created a platform of understanding from modern way of understanding. Ora iva rathanabhu sanghata jatra nadya sa esha antascharate bahudha jayamana Om iti evam dhyayatha atmanam Swasti vaparaya tamasa parastat. In one shloka, the first 2 lines, the teacher is teaching you how to concentrate your mind on that absolute, immutable, eternal, infinite existence, which is your true original nature. Never break this equation. It is my true original nature, and I have to evolve to that by first rational conviction and then intuitional experience of paroksha anubhuti. Sasambedya chaitanya. That is, no indirect perception, direct perception. What is indirect perception and direct perception? I see you through my eyes. I will have a distorted vision of you if my eyes are diseased. My perception of you depends on the efficiency and efficacy of this organ. Therefore, my perception is dependent on the efficiency and efficiency of my organ, perceptive organ. Therefore, it is indirect. I depend on this. What is direct? You put me into a small little chamber, 1 meter square. Swami, sit here. And I'll make it such, it is dark, your eyes don't work, it is soundproof, you don't hear anything, it is smell-proof, I will not allow to touch anything, and you will not have anything to taste. All your 5 sense organs are deadened. Now tell me, Swami, what do you experience? The Swami says, I am, and I am imprisoned in a chamber where my 5 senses are deadened. But I am aware, I am. This awareness of my amness does not depend on my 5 sense organs. Self-evident awareness, swa, self, sambedya, evident chaitanya awareness. Sasambedya chaitanya, self-evident awareness. So, this is what my true original nature is. Only that self-evident awareness, because of its own stupidity, has identified itself with what it is not its own true original nature. Atasmin tat buddhi. That what I am in reality not, I have identified myself with that. So, the first 2 lines of this shloka, the teacher teaches you how to meditate on Omkar, the symbol of the Absolute. And I have explained to you what that Absolute and symbol is. I'll do so again. And the last 2 shlokas, he knows it is a very difficult, challenging task. So he says, I will help you. My blessings will see to it that avoidable disturbances in your path of realization is removed. I will help you with my prayers and with my willpower to protect you. This is the essence of the 6th shloka. Let me read it now and give you a word-and-word translation, and then you give a summation of the whole system. Ora iva rathanabho sanghata jatra nadya. Ora iva rathanabho. Ratha, a wheel of a chariot, wheel of your automobile, wheel of your cycle, any wheel. They have spokes, either 4 or 6 or 8 or 16 or innumerables or many in a bicycle, in a racing cycle. Thin pieces of wire rope tightened up. That is the spoke. Now, where do the spokes start from? The external circumference. Where does it end up? The hub, the axle. This is agreeable? Now, this is the example. What is the exemplification? I know I am, and I know there's a central capacity in me to know, to understand, to feel, to determine, to do. It comes all from within me. I know, I understand, I discriminate, I want to do, and I do. Where is it emanating from? From in me. All these so-called activities of the human emanates from the core of your being, known as a Hridaya. That is the hub where the spokes from the whole outer world goes and reports. And there you think of Omkara, the Absolute which is everywhere, including what I know as I am. Esha antascharate bahudha jayamana. Let me now, word to word being. Ora iva rathanabho sanghata jatra nadya. Nadya is nerve endings. Your nervous system in the body. It is said the biggest ganglion of the nerves of the central nervous system is just opposite the sternum in your spine cord. From there, the heart, the lungs, the stomach, and etc., the main organs of the body is organized. There's another ganglion which operates your upper nerves. There's another ganglion operates your lower nerves. There's another ganglion which operates your excretory organs. The anatomist, the neurologist has found out. In our medical sciences also, it has been found out. He says the hub of your nervous system in the body is known as Hridaya, the innermost core of your being. Now let me be very clear. Give me an opportunity. Sit for a while. Dive deep down yourself. Try to locate from where I am, I exist, this idea is emanating. Try and find out for me. I am, I exist. Where is that point in space from which it is emanating? You will not be able to. Why? You are eternal, you are infinite, you are everywhere. But your nervous system, with the help of your brain, gives you an idea. I am in this body. I am in this body. So, the thought to our rishis and our old chikitsakas, the people who were involved in medical science, the life sciences, they said, Hridaya is a hub of your being, like a hub of your wheel. Everything external comes there. And from there, your reactions start. Bahudha jayamana. Sometimes you are angry, sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are miserable, sometimes you are excited, sometimes you are in ecstasy. Bahudha. multiple ways you express yourself. Where from? From the core of your being. He is teaching you now. Ara iva ratanabho sanghata jatranadya. Just like a circumference, the circumference is this whole cosmos. Your five sense organs perceives it. And it goes to the core of your being. And from there, you react in 1,000 different ways. In that core, Om iti evam aksharam dhyayata atmanam. Om iti evam atmanam dhyayata. By constantly, repetitively use the word Omkara with that nasal resonance and think, I am that, he is in me, I am in him. Om iti eva atmanam dhyayata. Educate yourself to remember, be aware of the presence of that divine being, immutable, infinite, eternal, absolute existence. He is in me, I am in him. Why in me and in him? Because that separateness is standing like a Chinese wall between me and my true original nature. That has to be removed in totality. Therefore, anya bacha vimunchata. Don't allow any other thought to disturb your brittaya ekatanata, the uniform flow of one thought. He is in me, I am in him, I am with him. And the last line of the shloka says, Swasti paraya tamasha parastat. This darkness of ignorance which envelops you, my dear children, let that darkness disappear and may you reach the other shore by my goodwill, my blessings, by my guidance. This is how the sixth shloka teaches you another methodology of meditating on that eternal, that infinite, that immutable absolute, which is my true original nature. Never forget this equation. And the sense of separateness is because not only I have forgotten myself, my true original nature, but I have identified deeply with something which I am not. I have to fight my battle in two different fronts, Vikshepa Shakti and Avarani Shakti. So he says, the teacher, the Guru says, Maharishi Angirisha says, I am here, my dear children, those who are inclined to follow this self-imposed discipline, to know thyself. I am here to pray for you. I am here to guide you. I am here to use my willpower to protect you from all obstacles so that you can safely reach the other shore. From mortality to immortal life. This is how the sixth shloka teaches you another way of looking at how to meditate. Again, he will take something else in the seventh shloka, 8th, 9th, 10th, and he concludes on the 12th shloka when the second chapter of second Mundaka comes to an end. Please kindly continue to think on those terms. What is that? Let me repeat. Give me a couple of more minutes. What is that? First formula is he and me in essence, in reality are one. The sense of separateness is a creation of my ignorance of my true original nature. That separateness has to be uprooted. How? By convincing myself unity in diversity. And this world is not a devil's creation. This world is a manifestation of the divine. And I live in this world to enjoy that state of awareness where, according to the Upanishads again, Deha Abhimane Galite, when the identity with this body has totally melted away. Vijnate Paramatmani. There are two ways. You say Vijnate or Abhede. Vijnate means I have known for certain what this Jivatma is nothing else but Paramatma. I have experienced that. Abhede means avinnataya prapyate. Or Vijnate means Vishesh Rupena Jnate. That is, it is not only rational. I have experienced. I have become Surya. I have become Manu. Evam pratipede Rishirabhama Deva. Oh my dears, it's in the Sridharananda Upanishad. Rishi Vamadeva had that experience, that realization. And he could contain himself. He sings, Evam pratipede Rishi Vamadeva. This is what Rishi Vamadeva experienced while realizing oneness with the cosmos. Aham surjasya bhavat manushyeti. What you know as the glorious sun, I am that sun. What you know Manu, that sage, the seer, I have that seer. I am everywhere. Vijnate Paramatmani. Yatra yatra mano jati. Your mind is now so trained, so saturated with the awareness of the sense of the divine. Allow it the freedom to run around. Not now, later. Wherever it goes, he sees the divine. The divine covered up in name, in form, in quality, utilitarian value. They become secondary, which is primary today. Awareness of presence of God is not with me now. At that time, that is primary. These are all illusionary, secondary. This will happen to you. This is why Acharya says, I bless you, I pray for you. My blessings, my willpower, my prayers will protect you, for you to cross this bridge between what is mortal and what is immortal. Aparavidya Vishaya, Paravidya Vishaya. This is what it is. Thank you, my dears. Thank you ever so much. We'll move on to the seventh shloka next time when we meet. And the whole of this chapter, dear, be very mindful. He gives you various attitudes with which you can cultivate Brittaya Ekatanata, one flow of thought, one directional movement of the arrow towards the target and the target alone. Thank you, dears. Thank you ever so much. Thanks for your patience. God bless us all.
Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.